Howdy folks. Have you ever found yourself wandering through a Cabela's or an REI and you're looking at water filtration systems and you realize there are dozens of options out there and you're just not sure which option is right for your style of backpacking? Or have you been planning your next trip and you're going through your gear and you realize you have way too many options already in your garage? Today we're going to take some of the mystery out of water filtration systems. I want to go over 4 very distinctly different but excellent options for filtering water when you're in the backcountry. We're going to break down the mystery, we're going to go through some of the basic best practices, and hopefully help you along your journey on your next backpacking adventure. So let's pack up our gear, we'll get out there on the trail, and let's get into it. So this is the Sawyer Squeeze. This is a fantastic ultralight, ultra portable filtration system. It's great for filtering out 99.9% of bacteria, algae, E. coli, those sorts of things. The one thing that it doesn't do is filter out viruses or heavy metals. So this is a great resource if you're hiking in the US or an area that's known to have relatively clean water. If you're hiking in a country that has viral outbreaks or heavy metal contamination, then you might want to look for a better filtration system. Overall though, the Sawyer Squeeze tends to be the backpacker's choice of filters. It's ultralight, fits into just about any pouch. This kit that I purchased, it comes with a couple of different water bladders. It has the backflush system. It's got different hoses and adapters and a great little carry case. Overall, the filter itself weighs about 3 ounces. The kit fully combined, if you carry everything with you on your pack, it's about 8 ounces. And then of course, the price tag, not bad at all. It's only about $40 for the entire starter kit. And best of all, this one filter, if you take care of it and you treat it right and you do all the back flushing recommendations, can filter up to 100,000 gallons of water. That is pretty remarkable for under $40. The Grayl Geopress. This is the king of filters. It's certainly not lightweight. It weighs in at about 450 grams. This is the Grayl Geopress 24 ounce. They do make smaller filters, but for the amount of water I consume, the 24 ounce was just about the right size for me. This is designed to not only filter out bacteria and green matters, but it's also designed to filter out viruses and heavy metals. This will filter out 99.9% of all contaminants in your water supply. I have used this all around the world. It is a phenomenal filter if you're hiking or traveling in areas where the water supply is a guarantee to get you sick. The price tag comes in at about $100. You can find sales periodically, but for the most part, it's $100. The recommendation is to replace the filter every 650 gallons or 1 year. Certainly not ultralight, but it is definitely the king of all filters. For the extreme ultralight crowd, you've got your good old-fashioned aqua tabs. These are a very simple and easy way of purifying your water. You take one of the little tablets, you drop it into your bottle of water, shake it up, and wait about 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, your water has been purified and is safe to drink. This is going to kill just about everything in the water supply. The one thing it's not going to do is filter out any sediment. So if you're using aqua tabs, you might want to use an additional filter, maybe a handkerchief or something to run your water through first of all, so that you can filter out any gunk or dirt or sand that might be in the water supply. These are a phenomenal resource. I keep one in my emergency kit at all times. They weigh virtually nothing. They're very easy to pack because it's a compact, tiny little pill. And it's a great way of making sure in an emergency situation, you have clean, available drinking water. And don't worry, I didn't forget my bushcraft friends out there. Probably one of the simplest methods that we're all aware of is boiling your water. This is a simple, easy way to ensure that all the viruses and bacteria have been killed. The one thing it's not going to do is filter out any heavy metals or any particulates that are sitting in there. The CDC recommends that if you're sitting at roughly sea level, boil your water for a full minute to ensure that all bacteria and viruses have been killed. If you're sitting at over 6,000 feet, then the recommendation is to give it a good 3-minute boil. This is a very simple method to ensure that your drinking water is a little bit fresher and safer. If you're in an area that's known for having heavy metal contamination, this is not going to be a good, safe method for you. Howdy folks, sorry for the interruption. I just wanted to throw in a shameless plug for the channel. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for checking me out. I try and upload new content every Wednesday. It's been a hit and miss the last couple weeks, but I think I'm back on track. If you're into outdoor adventures, this is the channel for you. Sometimes we're doing gear reviews, other times we're on a nice hike, or just a good old-fashioned cookout in the woods. Thank you so much for checking me out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next week. Okay, so I moved away from the river because it was just entirely way too noisy down there. But we've got our full dirty water. All we're gonna do is remove the cap from this, place the filter on it, and then we'll have good clean drinking water that we can filter into our water bottle. Now, one recommendation I would have is make sure you bring extra caps, because just in filming this video, I've set this thing down 3 times and I've had to look for it. Not gonna be good if you're out there on a hike and you've lost your cap. Another pro tip for you, most water bottles are gonna have a standardized cap. The smart water bottles are a great option because they are the exact same cap size as the Sawyer. This Kirkland Signature generic version, shame on me, I didn't double check. This cap is actually too small to fit on the Sawyer, so it's not a universal setup. But for our purposes today, this is gonna work great. So what we've done, I put the filter on top of the water bladder. This is a watertight cap. You can either drink directly out of it, or you can filter it into your bottle. Simple and easy. It's a very effective, easy way to get good, clean drinking water. Now, the benefit of also having these extra bladders with us is if you need to pack in an extra couple liters of water, fill up these bladders at your stop, throw them in your pack, then you have extra water for camp that night. If you've noticed the flow rate of your filter has started to diminish, or it's becoming a little bit harder to get water to filter through there, that means it's time to do some backflush. And all you're gonna do for a backflush is remove the end spout from your filter, put it in your pocket so you don't lose it. You're gonna shake out any residual water in there, then we're gonna take our syringe that they've supplied with us in the kit. We're gonna fill it full of good, clean, filtered water, and you're gonna place it on the end where the cap was at. You're gonna just give it a good hard push. Simple as that. That's gonna push any particulates that are clogging the filter back out through the dirty end. It's gonna avoid any contamination on the clean end of your filter, and it's gonna ensure that it's gonna work for a long time. Now, you will notice as you start using this that there's always going to be some water inside your filter. You can hear it sloshing around, and it adds to extra weight. What I would highly recommend is don't store this filter inside your pack if it's wet. Throw it in one of the mesh bags on the outside of your pack, but make sure you pull it inside your tent at night if it's going to drop below freezing. If the filter freezes, it's going to damage it and it's not going to work properly. So make sure you bring this thing inside if you're going to drop into freezing temperatures. The Grayl Geopress. This is simple. You're going to detach the 2 pieces. This is going to be your clean water supply. This is your filter. What we're going to do is take the dirty water portion, scoop some good clean water out of the river, and we're going to put the top back on, ensure that the cap is open and vented, and then you're going to just press the 2 pieces back together. After a few seconds and a few pounds of force, you're going to have a nice, good, clean drinking water available for you with little to no fuss. If we're going to be boiling our water, remember, we want to filter out as many sediment particles as possible. I always keep a bandana with me that I use as a towel or just face covering sometimes, but it's also a great resource to filter out any dirt or particulates that are just hanging out in your water supply. So it's pretty simple and easy. You place it over your cup, and you're gonna just slowly pour in the water and let it filter through that bandana. It's gonna take a little while for it to pass through the cloth, but that's okay because it's gonna give us time to let that dirt and sediment filter out of your water. Once your pre-filtering is done, then all we want to do is boil the water to kill off any germs and bacteria that may be in there. Remember, the recommendation is at sea level or lower altitudes, bring your water up to a boil and then let it continue to boil for at least 1 minute. At higher elevations, at 6,000 feet, you're going to want to bring your water up to a boil and let it continue to boil for a minimum of 3 minutes. Not all water filters are created equal. As a matter of fact, they're intentionally designed for specific types of hiking, backpacking, or outdoor activities. So before you select your water filter, put a little bit of time and thought into what type of hiking, backpacking, or outdoor adventures are you planning where you might need a filter. Once you've understood the type of backpacking you're doing, then you can dial down the type of filtration system that you want to bring along with you. For example, if you're hiking here in the Pacific Northwest, chances are the water is going to be pretty clean wherever you're at. We are very fortunate to have good, clean drinking water. So a simple filter like a Sawyer is probably all you need. Now, if you're hiking internationally or you're on an area that is known to have high levels of contaminant, then you're going to want to dig deeper into a more robust filter that's going to pull out more viruses and heavy metals. Do a little bit of research before you go out and spend the money on the filters. Once your minute is up, you're going to shut off the fuel supply and let your water sit and cool down. That is, unless you want to turn it into a cup of coffee, which I just might do.